You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello and welcome to the Up the Turnpike post-game show. What's going on? Matt O'Leary, Mitch Anderson. Mitch, how you doing, buddy?
Great. My life is in shambles, but I don't have to change a thing. Don't have to change a thing, man. I'm doing everything right. Just nothing's working. I don't have to change a thing. It's fine.
Yeah. What do you mean? Just because the end result is shit night after night, you like your process, even though the result is shit every night. So you're not going to change anything. Is what I'm gathering from your assessment, right?
Yeah, that's basically it. That's like, God damn it. I love Patrick Roy, but that was
a tone-deaf comment.
I also the underlying numbers at 5-on-5 look great, and of course, special teams don't kill us today. This is nothing to do with special teams, but go into this game. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say a slight critique, but we'll save that for the end.
Yeah. Anyways, that's how I'm doing. Just feeling like strict garbage. Also, I'm drinking white wine. I don't even really like white wine, but my neighbor, who's a very nice lady, gave us white wine, and I'm not about to say no. It calls for something right now. God damn, that's how I'm doing. What about you?
So I had, outside of the Islanders, I had a very good night. So I was telling you before we got started, breakfast for dinner.
Yeah.
So Taylor made some nice gluten-free pancakes with chocolate chips, some bacon, and Taylor's been making homemade Baileys. So I had a little Baileys and homemade Baileys and a cup of coffee while watching the Islanders game. So that was the highlight of my night. It clearly wasn't this game, as the Islanders lose 6-3. And it did not get off into a good start. They fought a little bit. I'll give them credit. It didn't turn into a blowout until the very end, but this game could not have started any worse, as Brad Marchand scores a minute into this game here, essentially right off the face-off, an absolute freaking rip of a shot.
Yeah, and we stack up. Watch, we stack it up. Simon Holmstrom goes there. There's three guys, and we still can't get anyone either in front of it. The shot had eyes. It's a good shot. Sometimes he's just hands up, good shot. These things happen, but it's not how you want to feel after your coach is like, it's going to be fine. We're playing well. The underlying numbers are great. And I'm a stats guy.
I know. And I know this isn't you saying that. So this isn't directed at you. I can't hear that anymore. That doesn't matter to me, because what you said at the beginning, the end result is not good enough. At the end of the day, wins and losses and getting points is most important. And this team just cannot do that. They usually blow leads in the third. It was a tied game, but still a third period meltdown tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. And people are not feeling great, right? Ryan's saying season's over. When are we getting a new GM? And then Michael saying start dumping.
It's hard to blame anyone with those comments.
It really is. And of course, we've only talked about one of the 9 goals scored today, but it starts off poorly. You allow a goal in the first minute, which is exactly what we don't want to see from this team. But these things happen. Fine. Well, they don't get a whole lot better, because 5 minutes later, they score again.
Yeah, Brad Marchand again here. Did Brock Nelson just forget about Brad Marchand? I don't know what any of the forwards, and Chalowski too, I guess you have to include, but specifically Brock and Siplikov, I have no idea what they were thinking there, just letting Marchand have that much room.
They just completely forgot about him. And I understand the play breaks favorably to him, and he's not doing anything special. He's just going towards the net, which is what you teach people, right? Sure. I know some of our guys don't do that, this is why. You end up this is what I was telling my kid on the way back after picking them up from scouts. I was describing the game. They're up 2-1 because the guy just went to the net. That's what you're supposed to do. Just go to the net. Not through it, to it. That's exactly what Brad Marchand does, and he scores. Because our guys are all puck watching. They're just puck, and that's it. And these things happen. Broken plays happen. It's how you respond from. And we're swimming in time, right? This is 6.5 minutes into the game.
And they took a timeout. So Patrick Roy took a timeout.
Good call.
And good call. And to his credit, it woke him up a little bit. It did. Maxim Siplikov would get a goal. He sent one high, which had me so frustrated, because it was a great opportunity. And then someone else sent one high. Good buddy, friend of the show, Oliver Wahlstrom, put one a mile above the net on his golden opportunity. But then finally, Maxim Siplikov, he goes to the net. Brock Nelson gets a turnover or helps create a turnover, goes right to him. And Maxim Siplikov goes to the net and puts 1-5-hole.
Yeah, just slides it, redirects it nice and easy as Korpisalo is trying to slide across the net, opening up that 5-hole. Great play by Brock, great play by Siplikov, and you're back in it. Okay, great. You end the period because we don't score again. You end it still down 1, but you kind of feel good.
Could have been worse.
Momentum is on your side. Yeah.
Yeah. Momentum on your side. Could have been worse. Could have got away from them, but they got the next goal. That was important.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say Boston was the better team in the period. They were a good team.
No.
They were fine. But even the 2 goals that they scored was more about us than it was about them. Well, maybe not. The first one they scored was all about them.
No, that was that. I'm going to give Marchand the credit on that one. That was an absolute fucking rip.
Yeah, that was a really good shot by Brad Marchand. But we played ourselves into the period, so we play ourselves into the game. And then the second period happens, and we have a good second period. We really do.
They did.
We get off and score the first one in the second period, 8 minutes and 52 by, again, Brock Nelson.
Brock Nelson doing the damn thing. Things you love to see. This was a beauty of a shot. His patience was perfect because he had a ton of time. As you see, he was kind of alone for a little bit, but he waited to the perfect second. And I thought in the intermission, Cal Clutterbuck did a really good job of talking about Brock Nelson, saying like, it's not always that he has the hardest shot in the world, but he's just very deceptive with it. And I think that deceptive is like the perfect word to describe that first Brock Nelson goal.
Yeah, he waits out the goalie type of thing. And yeah, he's got a ton of time. Maybe not a ton of time, but he takes the time. He's got Lou Lamoriello was salivating over that.
If you have the time to take it.
Yeah, he rips it in, and it feels so good. Okay, now you're tied. The momentum is swinging.
Brendan.
It's going well. Think that the game is in our favor.
It wasn't. Until it wasn't.
And it doesn't.
Yeah, Morgan Geeky scores here. And, I feel like there's some mixed thoughts on this one. I don't blame him for coming out and trying to play the shot. I think you have to take away that angle. And I know it ended up looking like a tap in for Geeky, but I don't blame him stepping up to Zacha in that spot.
I think my only problem is that when he steps up, he's not really square. And he takes himself out of the play. I know he's aggressive and he's got to be aggressive. I, as a goalie, would probably do the same thing, but I'm not a good goalie. Everyone I play against could attest to that. I'm not a good goalie. I make a couple of good saves here and there, but it's generally not great. Anyways, he's coming out too far ahead, and so he's taking himself completely out of the play. Yes, you have to challenge the shot, and you have to respect the shot, but he's reading past the entire way. Zacha is not even looking at the net, which doesn't necessarily always mean he's going to shoot it or he's going to pass it, but 9 times out of 10 he is, and sure enough he does. And Sorokin can't do anything. He can't get anywhere near that shot because he took himself completely out of it. Again, go to the top of the crease. That's totally fine. But he went so aggressive that he just could not even get himself anywhere near the shot in cross pass and cross ice pass. He just couldn't get there, and it just took himself right out of it. Now, a defenseman probably should have been there because this is a 5-on-5. Defenseman probably should have been there either to stop the pass or to at least challenge the shooter to give Sorokin, something. But no one was there. So sure, if you don't want to blame Sorokin, that's okay. I give him quite a bit of blame, but you're right. The defenseman who was not there at all also some blame.
Some good news, though, at the end of the second period, with just seconds left, Brock Nelson would tie it up again and face off at center ice. But got to watch the play here from Brock Nelson, who I guess would come on to the ice after this face-off. I don't know what this visualization is.
They win the draw, I guess, and then
that's great. Thanks, fantastic, great stuff. That had to be the fastest face-off for the third period, right? Like
it must have been, but. So he takes it down low, right? And he beats Korpisalo's short side.
It's a nice play.
Korpisalo's, he's not posted up. Korpisalo's not a good goalie. He's got decent stats right now, but he's not a good goalie. Just like me. But Brock beats him. Brock has 3 points on the night at this point. He would have no more, obviously. Spoiler if you can't read the numbers ahead of us.
Just look up.
Yeah, but we're tied. We're tied. And the Islanders are playing, I feel like, better hockey than the Boston Bruins are. We really are. Anything that the Boston Bruins had generated was completely broken on our end.
Yeah, after they...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, after the Boston Bruins went up 2-0, after the timeout from Patrick Waugh up until the third period Pavel Zacha goal, I thought the Islanders were playing better hockey.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess, like, sure, we made like 3 mistakes and they capitalized on all 3. Classic Islanders. But, like, at some point, maybe to Patty's credit, like, the mistakes that we make aren't going to burn us.
No.
But maybe. But, like, that is not a strategy you hold on to. Like, maybe it'll break in our favor next time. That's not how you're supposed to game manage.
Sure. Yeah, I know. Well, didn't Patrick Waugh say, like, it's not like these games are 6-2 or something like that? Well, 6-3 tonight. It's close enough.
Ooh, Sacrament.
Anyway, let's get into the third period meltdown, Mitch. The team, by the way, Boston went into tonight with 10 third period goals on the season, last in the NHL. They scored 3, essentially 30% of their team total in this game. Pavel Zacha would score here. Chalowski, excuse me, unable to win a battle that time.
And just to the front, and it deflects. Like,
yep.
Lost a puck battle in the third period, and it ends up in the back of the net. It's not even a great play by them. They just throw it. But, like, that's what happens when you don't win puck battles. Like, just win a goddamn puck battle for once. The Islanders are now, well, at this point, I think minus 13 in the third period. They were minus 12 after the last game, were they not? They allowed 2 in their last one.
It was either minus 12 or minus. Yeah, maybe it is minus 12. I thought it was minus 12 or 13 on the season. So now it's up to, we'll say 15 or minus 15 or 16 in the third period, which is still horrendous, no matter how you slice it.
It's just awful. And then Zach is back at it within like 2 minutes. 2 minutes later, he scores again.
I felt like I blinked and another one was in the back of the net here.
Yeah, and it's not. There's not much. One. Yeah.
Who I don't think is 100%. That was my takeaway. Not. This was his first game back. He missed the last one due to a sickness, but he did not look right all night. Yeah, loses a puck battle behind the net, just like the last one. And then Zacha makes a run to the net. Right, Brock Nelson kind of loses him here, doesn't follow him, and that's it. That's it. I'm not blaming necessarily Brock Nelson per se, but TD did kind of give him that extra second of separation. That's all Zacha needed to score. And then Zadorov scores his first of the year on the empty net. On an empty net. Now, before you were going to say special teams didn't cost them. And agree, the score was 5-3 when the first power play for the Islanders happened. But they still pulled Sorokin. So essentially had a 2-man advantage for most of that and really didn't get anything of genuine opportunity going towards the Bruins net. No, it was, well, I don't know. I said it in that tone. There was a few. There's maybe like a 30-second window where they generated 2 or 3 shots towards the net. There was one chance where they kept trying to feed Bo Horvat in the slot, in the high slot. Yeah. And he was getting covered because they were reading it. Well, just take the goddamn shot. If you don't have a pass, don't give it to him. Just take the goddamn shot. I get it. He's got a really good shot, although not today. And typically converts a lot. But my God, for the love of all that is holy and whatever deity you subscribe to, like, just shoot the goddamn puck, whoever you are. Yep. And they didn't do that, and it ended up costing. By the way, the Islanders have a lot of issues, and I just don't want to pick on this one player, but Bo Horvat can't buy a goal right now. He really can't, right? He gets toe picked by Korpisalo, right? And just he cannot for the life of him buy a goal. It stinks. I feel for the guy. But I haven't seen how many shots he gets today, but it felt like he was shooting almost like Oliver Wahlstrom after the coach called him out. Shooting from anywhere and everywhere. 4 shots on net. That's a lot. Oh, Oliver Wahlstrom also had 4 tonight. Yeah. Because didn't Boston play last night? Yes, they did. They lost 2-0. They lost 2-0 to the Vancouver Canucks, and Vancouver only had 15 shots on net. It's a team that played. Islanders were the rested team
Yep. At home. At home.
on home ice.
They were
They've been
rested.
playing at home for a while.
And there's clearly something they're doing wrong in the third period. I don't understand where Patty's saying, like, we're not going to change anything. Dude, I get it. For the first 40 minutes, you're fine. But for the last 20, like, I don't understand. Like, kind of like what Easkin is saying. You have to be like 4 up to be safe in the third period. Yeah.
I don't know. That might not be enough.
Right. And they don't have the offense, even with Matthew Barzal and Duclair healthy. They don't have the offense to be +4 going into the third period consistently. No one does.
No.
Which obviously that's what
it's a shame
getting to. Yeah. And like Andre, it's a new level of embarrassment every game.
We can't even make fun of the Charlie Lindgren play. You see that?
The Charlie Lindgren play. What play are you talking about?
Please hold.
I'm holding.
Where we put it in his own net. Look at it.
Oh my God, that's the worst own goal I've ever seen in my life. What is he doing?
From like a foot out. We can't even enjoy that. That's not even the most embarrassing thing that happened tonight. The Islanders let the Bruins score 5, and well, technically 6 with the empty net too.
3 in the third period. Off to that and off to this. Yeah. My gosh.
All right, ice times, Mitch. Who are we thinking?
Me. I watched the entire game. I deserve something. No, it was Brock Nelson. It has to be.
You would think it was Bo Horvat, 22 minutes flat.
Okay, fine. I don't understand. The top line is Brock Nelson. It is. You put them out there 25 minutes a night. They're the only ones doing anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude,
I was surprised.
So mad. My face is all red. Look how red my face.
You look like Patrick Waugh on the bench.
Fudgerson. It might also be the wine. But sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, Mitch is wine drunk right now and turning red.
It was pretty full when I started it.
Okay. Anders Lee was second in ice time, by the way, 19 minutes, 42 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Least has to be Matty Martin.
No, by 10 seconds. So it's close.
Oh, okay.
Oliver Wahlstrom at 9 minutes, 28 seconds.
Oof.
Martin, 9:38. Kyle McLean, 10:55 for your fourth line.
And they were non-existent. Like, how many shots did Oliver Wahlstrom get?
4.
So 4 shots in 9 minutes is pretty good.
The Patrick Waugh quote today on Oliver Wahlstrom was hilarious, but also kind of sad at the same time. I sent it to you, so I'll pull it up in our text thread here so I could read it. Patrick Waugh said, "Everybody's been telling me he's a good finisher. I haven't seen that yet, but I want to see those things. I think Wally could offer us more on what he's been doing. That's my opinion. Not exactly a ringing endorsement, but it's not like he's got a ton of other options."
No, that's bad. I want to see his individual stats here for Oliver Wahlstrom. So he gets 4 shots on 9 minutes. How many like individual expected goals? Oh, they're flat zeros across the board. Okay, great. So I don't have those stats because apparently Natural Stat Trick does not have them right now. But what I did find interesting on Natural Stat Trick is that the Bruins scored their goals as the Islanders were taking control of the game, which I thought is hilarious. If I can I show my?
You should be able to share your screen.
Yeah, this one here. It's not anything I don't want to show. I don't have anything I don't want to show on. There, right? Like, look at that. Look at how it's going up towards the Islanders. The 5-on-5 Corsi, and then bam, bam, bam. They score 3. We were playing the better game, and we still allowed goals. So, like Patty's thing of we're playing well, we are, but we're still letting up goals, bud. Something needs to be fixed. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Come on.
Not great.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, defenseman, who do you got leading the way? Don't overthink it.
It's Daubers.
23 minutes, 28 seconds. Next closest was Romanov, actually, at 2020.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, least Chalowski.
16-17 for Chalowski. Okay. He was least.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Oh, what did Sorokin end with in terms of save percentage? Not good.
750.
Oh, He wasn't great today. He really wasn't. I know Will in our Patreon, so the hashtag sign up to our Patreon channel, patreon.com/uptheturnpike, was really on Sorokin, as he usually is.
What else is new?
Yeah. But I tend to agree with most of his criticisms today with Sorokin. It was not a good one from Sorokin today. Not at all.
No. As for the rest of the stat lines here, guess what? The Islanders were, hang on, I'm trying to pull it up, but I'm struggling here. But add this. There we go. 24 shots to 21. Not a lot of rubber going towards the goalies tonight. Islanders better in the face-off dot, like they usually are.
Mm-hmm.
Islanders 0 for 1 on the power play. They didn't take any penalty minutes. A lot of hits thrown, 36-35. Block shots, 15-11. Bruins more. Giveaways, 16-15. And takeaways, 3-2.
Yeah. The Islanders were, I don't know why we don't have any expected goals for this game, but in terms of the Corsi, they had 53%, but you're right, it was low, like some almost 100, just over 100 total shot attempts between both teams, which is low. Usually we've seen Carolina with like 94 just on their own. 60% of the scoring chances, 53% of the shots, 60% of the high danger, all in favor of the Islanders in all situations. So they were the better team on paper, but just got reverse goalied, I guess. And they are supposed to have a Vezina caliber goalie in nets.
They're supposed to, but 6-3. Islanders lose again. They are dropping in the standings. And Mitch, the line was by American Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
we're gonna know. And they are not in a playoff spot. They're 3 points out.
3 points out. A lot of, I'm sure like injuries is going to come into play in terms of the narrative, but and they're like, oh, they're playing well with injuries. Okay, fine, sure, true.
There's only 3 teams in the Eastern Conference worse than the Islanders right now.
Yeah, the East is, and they're going to stay in it. The Lou's going to stay.
Yeah, but they're 3 points out of a playoff spot, but they're also 2 points behind the worst team in the Eastern Conference right now, which is Montreal.
Yeah, who won today against Columbus? I think last I saw they were winning. Yeah, it's all tight, which makes it even worse for us. Obviously, Lou isn't going to he's not going to start selling right now. But it does feel like this team is probably done.
I think so. Brock Nelson scored. He had a great twice. He had a great game. His stock up. Kyle Palmieri's been really good. Sell.
Yeah, well, that's what Joseph is saying here. How much more of this crap do we have to watch? Back the truck up, clean it all out. I think sadly we can't necessarily do that. As much as I'm for, I love rebuilds. I'm not ready for it. I'm not saying I need a rebuild now. I'm one of those people still kind of hopeful that they can turn this around. But I love the idea of rebuilds, of saying like, now's not our time. We're going to call it in and we're going to call an audible in the year and just redo this whole thing. But just the Islanders aren't in a position to do that. They just aren't, which is just ridiculous. Like
they need some tweaks.
Yeah, you look at their salary. They're just in terms of the salaries they've got, like they have so many long-term deals. Obviously, Bo, you're not moving him, but Pierre Engvall's not going anywhere. And then on the blue line, Adam Pelech, you still got for 4 years. Mayfield till the sun explodes. Like obviously, those are only 3 guys, and we're talking about way more than that. Sorry, my camera gives out after half an hour. But we can't do a full-on tear down. We can get rid of a lot. We definitely can get rid of a lot once we get to that position. I just don't know if we're there right now. I don't personally think so. I'm not saying we need to put up with more crap or you need to put up with more crap. Lou's going to wait until the Matthew Barzal and Anthony Duclair come back and then see. Probably. Maybe. I'm not even sure about that.
Yeah, but when is that gonna? I know that Duclair and Pelech started skating, but
yeah, hopefully soon they're back. No, again, not that their presence alone will change our season. Like Adam Pelech was probably the worst of our top 4 defensemen last couple of years.
I would say so.
Here's if Lou is retained, then Malkin will make Woody Johnson look like a great owner.
That's that, Andre. I'm not ready to go that far. And I'm not a Lou guy. I think he deserves to lose his job, but this ownership group pretty much saved the Islanders from disaster. So I'm not. They're one of the better ownership groups in New York, and they do what most people ask of owners. They pay someone to make the hockey, baseball, football, basketball decisions, and they stay out of the way.
Yeah.
But they provide the money. Now we could say they need to step in and remove Lou, which I think is true. I don't think it happens in season. I think you can do it after the year. But until Scott Malkin is demanding players sit or be traded or anything like that, then I'm not ready to go that way.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? Obviously, you're living it as a Jets fan. But I could not. I could not imagine my GM coming down and being like, this guy, not GM, my owner comes down, this guy has to play. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Unless you're Mario Lemieux, who's a majority, maybe not a majority, but one of the owners of the Pittsburgh Penguins, then fine. But if you're not Mario Lemieux, don't come down and tell me this. Yeah.
It's different.
Orbican saying it's Jover. I think that might be a typo, or is that
No, that's a meme.
That's a meme? I don't get it. Dude, my kids started doing the Riz at home. They would do like, and I
love the Rizzler. I am all in on the Rizzler
so much, and I tell them every time, don't ever do that ever again. Like it's up there with like curse words on how reactive and negative I am towards that. I will not have my kids endorse this kind of terrible behavior. It's the worst. I hate it so much. It's so dumb. Anyways, unlike the Rizzler, it's time to jump on the Devils bandwagon, I suppose. I'm not doing that. I will never do that.
No.
Ever.
We have a Patrick Waugh quote.
Oh, show us.
Okay, we're gonna pull it up.
I don't like your reaction already.
Yeah, I don't know why this keeps doing it like that. Sorry. I love these guys. They work hard for me every night. They're pushing this. This is the team that Lou gave me, and I'm going to work extremely hard for these guys. I owe this to the players and to our fans.
This is the team that Lou gave me. I don't know, stands out to me. Maybe not to anyone else, but that stood out instantaneously to me.
Yeah, this feels very much over for this team.
Shots fired, in my opinion. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's how I feel reading it. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, shots fired.
Okay. And then Trey saying, no, guys, Lou's our GM is doing great. We're one step closer to the cup. Obviously, tongue firmly within cheek there.
I would say so.
Ask Malkin if they're still saying Lou we trust. I don't think so.
Not anymore.
I thought this was interesting. Sorokin is a good game. We lose 2-1. Sorokin is a bad game. We lose 6-3.
That usually means you're a bad team then.
Yeah. What do you think about this? Love seeing the same lineup and line comb every night. When things are going bad, got to keep it status quo.
They moved Lee around a little bit, and they bumped Holmstrom up to play with Pajot and Horvat.
Yeah, which I thought did absolutely nothing when they put Homie up there.
Yep, nothing.
They have I'm not going to mention it. Simple as that. I didn't say it, but it's written. So read it. Just don't say it out loud.
Okay.
As much as it's true, I think. I'm sure Roy is about to get fired in the next couple of weeks, and it won't change anything. Malkin, he still won't fire Lou, though. Maybe old Lou would have done that, but I don't know if new Lou would do that.
No, it's different than a year ago.
Yeah.
Like that was the card that he played last year. You can't play that card 2 years in a row.
No.
This is I have egg on my face. I have to admit my mistakes and adjust.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ready to do that, but anyways, can we package Dobson and Brock already?
I would say Brock is more than likely going to get traded. Dobson, I'd be surprised if they traded Dobson. I've shared my feelings on Noah Dobson. He frustrates me, and I worry about giving him big time, number one defenseman money.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what they're going to do.
Yes.
I would be surprised, even though, like I said, I've said I would highly consider trading him. I don't think the Islanders do that.
I don't think so either. To me, it depends on what you're getting back. I know someone was pitching me on, I don't know if you hear it. I'm sorry if you are, was pitching me Trevor Zegras and Frank Vetrano for Dobson, and I was like, that's honestly not enough. I
No.
need more than that.
No.
Intrigued by Trevor Zegras for sure. But if I'm giving up a potentially 70-point defenseman, right-handed defenseman, I need an 80 to 90-point forward minimum for Dobson. And I'm not on the team trade him. I felt like we're playing good. We're not winning. I'm not stupid. I know that. I love him so much. I don't want him to be fired just because I love him.
He's fallen on his sword.
Yeah. And like he's got to show that he's a team first guy, because when he left Colorado, he did not seem like a team first guy.
No.
Yeah. How long are we giving ownership a pass until they're done paying the bills?
What I don't understand, other than like, obviously we want Lou Lamoriello fired, but like, what have they done that's been bad other than keep Lou Lamoriello around? They got him an arena.
Yeah.
They made them competitive by hiring Lou in the first place, who brought in Barry Trotz. They went to back-to-back not cups, Eastern Conference Finals. I know that's a few years ago now, and they have to do something now. But I don't know. Things were a lot worse 15 years ago. From the 90s through 2015, things were pretty freaking rough, man. And into the Barclays Center era, they did not have a home. So yeah. I'm sorry if you think I'm giving the owners a pass. I want the general manager fired also, but I think if we're going to compare them again to an owner who is being in the mix and making decisions like that is two completely different things. Different things. It's not even remotely close. If they have a 15-year playoff drought, then yeah, I'm going to be getting on them a lot more. But they made the playoffs the last 2 years. The product is really bad right now. I get it. Like everyone's frustrated. We want to see something change, and something has to change to get better. But it's a nonsensical comparison.
Yeah, and we can't be too reactive. And this isn't like we need to keep Lou and I love Lou. We're still in it. We're still close. It's a rough patch for sure. Although the rough patch has lasted a while, it feels like, and yes, we've gotten into the playoffs, but I don't know. The owners are obviously not too reactive, which is okay to a degree. But when things go bad, they've made change, right? They got rid of Gar Snow. They got rid of Doug Weight when things got bad. They didn't do it quickly. But they got rid of Jack Capuano as well, although the GM got rid of him. I think when things are bad, they know what they want, but they're not going to be too reactive to do it. Kind of like what Matt was saying, like they're hiring hockey people to run the hockey things, and they'll run the business side, and they'll run their evaluations at the end of the year. They're not bad enough where it's like, you need to fire him today type of thing. I don't think. But something definitely needs to happen. So I'm sure they're calling Lou, like, what is going on? Think of like, I watched a lot of Ted Lasso. When Rebecca goes into Ted Lasso's office in season 3, is it? No, season 2. And she's like, are we ever going to win a match? Right? That I can see that happening. That Ledecky and Malkin are going, what is happening here? Are we ever going to win again? What are we doing? What is the plan? That doesn't help us because we don't see that, but I imagine that's happening. Now, that's not a pass to say that Lou gets to stay on forever, but he has to be on a very, very, very hot seat that is only getting hotter as the results just get worse.
Right. And I agree. I want to see Lou Lamoriello gone after this year. Like we are in agreement there, but it can be like, oh, fuck these owners who built a brand new arena to keep the team here and made the playoffs 5 out of the last 6 years and had a couple deep playoff runs. It's not as dysfunctional as Woody Johnson. It's not as dysfunctional as James Dolan when he had his fingerprints all over the Knicks, or it's not as bad as like I'm a Mets and Jets fan, so I see it with Woody Johnson. I saw it with the Wilpons for years. This is a walk in the park in comparison.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not comfortable. I totally understand fans want something. They're looking for a pound of flesh. I totally get it. I just not sure the owners are the ones to
We're
deserve
misguiding our anger.
as much as like they're the ones holding Lou in position. Yeah. And exactly as Andre kind of sums it up here.
We all are.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
Fair. And I think that's it. We're looking for that pound of flesh because we're feeling this way. And there really isn't anywhere else to go. There really isn't. Ideally, Lou steps back. He'd be like, nah, you know what? I'm clearly not the guy for this. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No.
It's just not. Anyways. I think that's it, man. Is there anything else you want to go over?
That's it. Islanders back in action on Friday afternoon up in Buffalo, if memory serves correct.
Yeah, at 3:00, isn't it?
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's at Washington on Friday at 3:00, and then back at home against Buffalo on Saturday night.
There you go. Okay, good old 3:00 Friday. God, Jesus Murphy, that's my work day. Come on,
Black Friday, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Good times. Get all that shopping and get Christmas done and out of the way before December starts. Thank you very much. That's how I love.
That's what I do. I do all my Christmas gifts on Black Friday.
Good.
That's
Get it
my
done.
move.
What a stupid holiday.
Anyway, I think that's going to do it for us tonight, unless you have anything else, Mitch.
No, I can go 40 minutes on how Christmas is dumb, but let's not do that right now.
We'll save that. We'll save that for another time. That'll do it for us, guys. Matt O'Leary, Mitch Anderson. We'll catch you next time.